Hello and welcome to the breaking news edition of the PSD podcast. We're here to break down the first, major trade, or one of the biggest trades since the podcast has started. The Cardinals, Havana, Roviva. It's still some debate over the actual pronunciation of the name, but we are going to debate the trade. Chris is here from Havana to give his insight as to why he shopped Roviva. And Mike is here from the Cardinals to talk about how he pursued Roviva and ended up getting him. So welcome in. And we've got the Peanut Gallery too. Tim is here and Will as well. So we've got a packed podcast, and hopefully we say it's going to be 15 minutes. It'll probably be much longer. So I'm just going to sit back and listen and give the floor to Chris.
All right. Well, I wasn't actually planning on shopping Roviva at all. That kind of caught me by surprise. Mike came in with the offer first, actually, and then that's when I decided to shop him around. So maybe we'll let Mike take over, and he was the one who initiated all this. So maybe he can talk about why he came in so strong.
Yeah, I looked at Tim's lineup, his exclusive, wonderful, beautiful lineup of his, and I saw that he was lacking in the left hand, like his lineup versus left-handed pitching is not really that good, except O'Neal, the 128, which is ridiculous contact. And then I saw expiring contracts, and I looked for a lefty starting pitcher, and I saw Roviva out there, and and then I just went ball to the wall with the offer. I felt like, fuck it, like I can get an entire 2059 draft class from Tim. And I feel like Roviva is definitely shored that up for me. Yeah, my offense. I definitely could have offered the package I offered for Roviva. I definitely could have got like a top 20 offensive player, but that's not the philosophy I'm going for right now. And as far as expiring contracts for batters, I really didn't see it. I was interested in the Beavers guy, the third baseman, Williams, I think that's his name, but the offer that Zed wanted, it was just too rich for my blood. So I was like, all right, let's go for Roviva. Let's make this starting rotation the best rotation anybody has ever seen.
Yeah, and so Chris, if you wanted to kind of talk about what you got back in this deal, I'm really curious to see how did you kind of come up with, okay, this is the package that I'm going to accept to move this, truly elite left-handed talent that just really maybe underperformed in the kind of ballpark that he wouldn't succeed in with his low movement in Havana.
The interesting thing is I probably, if you would have talked to me just a few days ago, I probably wouldn't even have been thinking about moving him. I thought I had a deal in place to lock him up for 5 more years. I think it was $20.8 million a year with a vesting option at the end for like $27 million or something like that. Had he accepted that, I was content going into the league or into the season with him trying to be one of the best in the league. But when they came in trying to get me to trade him, man, that package, especially Nabi, however you say his name, he looked fantastic. And then you combine the draft pick with that. Farrow I wasn't quite as high on. I actually really like McKinley better. I've had a pitcher before with that low stamina, but with the great 3-pitch mix. So I figured I could make him into something pretty good.
Yeah, and definitely I think it was agreed around the league that it was a really good return, especially when you consider the fact that, there is a possibility, I don't think it's likely, but there's a possibility that Roviva leaves after a season, and then you got all that for a rental, which, kudos to you, especially if you don't want to pay him. But Mike, how did you decide, you knew people were going to perceive this as an overpay. You knew people were going to kind of say you didn't need to give up that much. He's only under control for 1 year. How do you justify that to people in the league that are listening?
The first thing, like I mentioned before, the entire draft class, I feel like if Tim loses his bet, he's going into an instant rebuild. Whatever he says about him continuously winning and all that, who cares if you're not winning the World Series next year? So if he loses his bet, his team has got to be dismantled. And then, that's pretty much it, actually. I forgot what you asked.
So I mean, Chris, Mike, if you have anything else you want to say, I do kind of want to open it up to the Peanut Gallery. I want us to kind of get some takes because obviously you both have your own. You both are parties in this deal, so you have your own self-interest in mind. But I'm interested to hear from people that have no vested stake and can just kind of be as honest as they're willing to be on a podcast that 20 other people will hear. You know?
I think Tim should go first with this.
Wait, hold on. I will say like my last point here. Like if Alexander wasn't fragile and his injury proneness, I would have never even contacted Chris about Roviva or anybody else about another big name pitcher.
Good point. Tim, did you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. Made some good points, I guess. Maybe not. I think I can continue winning for another 3 years, at least. I have no more. I have no real dead money after this year. So that's kind of a false claim. I'm gonna try and win this year too. I got a little more ammo left in the tank.
Where?
I got a first-round draft pick left. Watch.
Okay.
It's coming up. People want to pick.
Do you have a message to the GMs out there that might be interested in that first round pick? What's it going to take to get that from you?
Starting pitching.
Yeah,
You guys-
gotta be, bro.
You know what it is. Come on, you know what it is. I cannot say starting pitching there. You know.
Well, Tim, maybe I'll slide into the DMs right after the podcast is finished recording.
There's too many. There's too many expensive pitchers out there. I can't afford these $30 million deals. It's ridiculous.
It's tough. It's tough out there in these streets. Will, what did you think of the deal? Or Tim, if you wanted to go for
Can I
it.
talk on the deal real quick?
Absolutely.
Sorry.
So go for it.
Yeah, Mike overpaid. Big time. Roviva's a good pitcher. There's also a good pitcher who was traded today for just a first-round pick.
And who might that
probably
be?
Costed much less. Don Price to the Nationals. I actually had never noticed this guy on the Giants before, but he actually ended up. Dude,
Hello?
does Mike sound like that to you guys?
Yeah, he sounds like an absolute zombie, so
Are you talking about?
we're looking at Don Price right now.
Don Price to the Nationals. 26 years old, 3.5 years of service time, 69 stuff, 72 movement, 78 control. Throws a fastball, slider, changeup, fork as a righty. Dude is gonna be nasty for the Nationals.
That's probably
That
true.
was just for a first. Mike could have easily acquired him, and it probably would have been a better pickup, and he would have saved a ton of assets in the process.
Dude, I don't fuck with pitchers that have injury proneness, bro. The fragile, wrecked. I don't like.
Oh,
that.
I guess, yeah, that's a decent worry.
But he, I mean, I will say,
dude, he actually is wrecked. Holy Matt, dude, I didn't even realize. My goodness, never mind.
He's also sidearm. He's got a huge platoon split.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's not as big of a deal, I don't think. But like,
It's a major deal.
I mean, he's still a starter.
I mean, I definitely agree.
Like if you give him durable injury proneness, dude can go probably 190 innings, easy.
He probably would, but he can't. He can't stay healthy.
No, that's a bad comparison.
But I think what you can say is both the deals, I mean, made sense in their own respect. I mean, you could also argue that Zach overpaid for a guy who is really injury prone and has only been in the league for 3 seasons, even though he's been really good when he's playing.
So good.
But
You just hope his elbow doesn't fall off.
Exactly, and the fact that the contract's only being covered for this season, so then after that he's going to have to pay full freight, and if he keeps performing well, he's going to have to pay a lot of money for him. So I think the whole point is, you can think Mike overpaid and still think it was a good deal. Like I felt like he went out and if I'm Chris, and I don't know Chris what you think, but I'm not looking to move him, so I have to be kind of wowed to move him. Like a deal for value is not going to get him off the team.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was. I was looking for something overwhelming, and I got overwhelmed.
Bolstering Chris's
speak on this trade now?
Bolstering Chris's strong system. Yes, Will.
All right, so there's a couple of things you got to account for this trade. You got to account for the bet that occurred. So if he what was the other dude's name again? Don Moore or whatever?
Don Price.
Don Price. Don Price would be a 5 in Mike's rotation. Roviva's a solid at least 2 or 3. And that's a huge, huge upgrade. And he's
Reviva's
got
is 3, I think, right?
Yeah,
he might
that's
be.
what he was saying, I think.
Going lefty, righty, lefty.
He's got easily the best rotation I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I
So,
agree.
Now he's like a huge contender, like probably next to Vegas to win that division. And then you have the bet, so like now the draft is so much better than it has been over say the last 5 years. So getting an entire draft is incredible. And I think St. Louis has enough firepower to win more games than Cincinnati this upcoming season.
Absolutely, I agree with. Good shit. Yeah,
And Cincinnati's getting older too, so they might go into rebuild sooner than later.
Holy shit! Do you guys see this center fielder in next year's class? Oh my god! I think he has. I don't know if you can see the screen right now. He also has all infield ratings, so you could literally train him at any position that you would like. Whew.
Who's getting them?
I think it's gonna be Jeremy.
For what?
Who's gonna get the 101 next
Pick.
season? Ooh, let's look at this. This guy also, but he could have the dead changeup, so you never want to risk that. Anyway, what have we thought about the draft?
Whatever.
Oh, he's 2-way.
The
draft so far, we can look at Slack.
I haven't even looked. I'm about to trade my pick.
I just traded for the 2 pick. I got what
That's a big
most
deal.
people would consider the best player in this draft, Dave Stewart.
Yeah,
He's
we'll
a
pull him up.
76 potential shortstop. He's got 85 potential contact.
He looks
And-
sweet.
Like 60 something power, 90 gap, 85 avoid K. He's gonna be a great fielder.
Hit
Decent speed.
hit 542 in high school.
He's the perfect franchise infielder
Mm.
for me because I have those couple center fielders in the complex, and then I have the 2 pitchers in rookie ball and single A.
If you built that up as a wave,
My team's gonna be really good.
Oh,
in the
dude, it's gonna be
future.
a strong team for sure.
So in 2060,
Coming up. You just hope your specs don't die.
2061, which is like the window where I think I'm gonna be really good in that AL West.
I think
And,
Stewart's
and
gonna
hopefully
end up
the
being
other
a great
team
baseball
get a
player.
little bit
Mm.
older. Hopefully Steady declines a bit, and maybe I can win that division in the future.
You say a third baseman or second baseman?
I think he's gonna be in a second baseman.
Yeah, okay, I agree. I thought you said third. Yeah, he doesn't have the arm to like justify him playing that short. He has
Yeah.
a range. But
God, every time I look at Hector Martinez, though, I just want to be like, God damn, I wish he was on my team.
Will that changeup develop?
I mean, it's yeah, I guess he is 23, but I don't know, high work ethic. Like he's already filled out a bunch of his other ratings. Like maybe he gets beaten around his first season, but I feel like he could really develop into your ace. You know, maybe not
But
Mike's
yeah, going
ace,
back to
but
that trade, I gotta ask Mike, was the package you offered initially the result of that trade?
yeah,
Like,
the
was
first
that-
offer I sent to Chris was the offer that we agreed on.
All right.
So did you
So,
try and trade for
trade
Stewart?
talk-
I'm confused.
My trade talk for Stewart was really easy because I just sent the initial package and then it was like, oh, just swap this for this, and it was okay. Then I'll do that.
Yeah, when I saw he put up the 106, I was like, I'm jumping on this immediately because he seemed to move the 102 to you really quickly. Like he already knew what he wanted. So I figured like he must have had an idea both times when he moved back, like what he wanted to do. But he's moved back how many times? Does anybody know in this draft before he actually picked?
Enough.
What, 12 times maybe? 10 or 12 times?
He's
Feels
He's
like
moved
it.
from 2 to 12, right?
yeah, and I think he's also got the 20th pick, right, from trading Price.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. That's fucking
You
crazy.
setting the system up nice. You add that depth. It's not all about the top end talent. You got to add that depth, something that Tampa knows nothing about, as you
Let's
can see in this MLB status.
let's look at some of these other picks. So coming to the AL East is Blevins. Blevins looks sweet. I mean, not overpowering, but he looks. I mean, 12 and a half strikeouts per nine in college. Like that's fucking
A lot of
legit.
pitches.
You know, he could be absolutely elite. So I'm not excited to see him in the division. Oh, so did people like the Marlins taking Nicholson? I know I was shitting on it, I think, before we were talking earlier, but it just doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm curious if it makes sense to somebody.
I think that Green was the better reliever.
Sorry, man. I got nothing. I traded Marlins Pete Lord just a couple seasons ago. Who's a
Payne.
Oh.
My bad.
Okay, I pulled up Lord right
Payne's
now.
an amazing reliever.
he doesn't need a stopper or a closer. He's already got Lord, who's amazing.
Yeah,
Boy, it was I made a horrible mistake letting him go, but I don't know why you'd go for another reliever when he's 25 and can man that position for you for a decade.
And there were so many good players on the board still. That's the part that just blew my mind. I was like, you could just take a better player.
Pick was a really great pick at 6.
I mean, I thought somebody else was going to move up for him immediately, but I mean, he's also got a shit personality, though. And I'm not a huge fan of those kinds of guys, but if you have like one of them on your team, you can usually make it by. Let's see, what were the other picks from that round? We had the Braves auto drafting Menifee. He's a beast defensively at shortstop. If you just look at those ratings, 100 range, 118 error, 85 arm, 128 turn and double play. He's an 112 rated shortstop. That's fucking insane. His batting's not.
That low contact and low avoid K is kind of worrying, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's never going to give you offensive value, but he will probably be a Gold Glover as soon as he starts playing.
However, if he gets like 25 home runs in a season at short, that's totally worth it.
And then we had Chris Johnson and Payne to round out the top 10. Payne, I felt like just kind of had to go at that point, even if his changeup is dead.
Payne is the best reliever in the draft.
And then, where is Chris Johnson? I feel like I don't see him on here.
Chris Johnson.
Here he is. Yeah.
You just had. Oh.
Yeah, he's got a
Sexy as hell.
122.
Really good.
Yeah. Whew.
He's gonna be ready soon.
Yeah, he is. He's a really elite defender at third, and yeah, he could probably play in 2 seasons. I don't know. That doesn't seem too
Playing the
unreasonable.
outfield too. 127 arm in the outfield. Dude is versatile.
Wow, and he could like actually play in the outfield, like if he was trained for it. Wow. So he could.
73 range.
He's legit.
Yeah, I was looking at it. He dropped to me.
And then yeah, so tell us a little bit about picking Quincy Elkins. Let's find Elkins. Okay, so we pulled him up. Ooh, wow. Oh, I remember seeing this guy and thinking, wow, he looks great.
Yeah, I thought he was the best pitcher remaining. That terrible personality sucks, but I thought he was the best one remaining, and I can never have too many pitchers.
I mean, 17 and a half strikeouts per 9 in 122 innings in high school. That's insane. I mean, I know it's high school, but like that's crazy. So he's sort of the future, and then we had I don't even know how to pronounce Yancey's last name, but I'm surprised he actually didn't go earlier. To be honest with you, he seems pretty developed already, and even if the changeup is dead, that's still three good pitches. Anybody have any thoughts?
And he throws that 96, 98.
Yeah, forget the personality. You got to go with the talent, man.
Yeah, so he went next,
Ground ball tendency, it's not gonna kill you.
and then Montoya went next, and I think Chris, that was you again. How did you get another pick? I can't remember.
That was from the Roviva trade.
Oh, that was where the pick was. Okay, so there was. I guess I didn't realize that it was 113, or maybe I just forgot that. Let's see.
So I'm still not sure about this one. These are guys I don't usually like to take. Good outfielders, high power, low contact. I don't know, Andrew Jones types. But I figured I couldn't pass him here.
Yeah, because he might strike out a shit ton, but he will, if he connects with the ball, he's gonna slam it.
He's like Kevin Pillar. Not
Yeah, I
really
got
though.
somebody
Kevin
in my
Pillar has less
farm
range.
That's
but, you know.
exactly like that. It's like Crystal Lopez. He's been balling out. So Montoya is gonna do well too.
And then Nigel went and got Dowsett. I mean, he's pretty far along. Like, he's pretty much ready. I would say he's probably ready to play in a year. Being already at 40 overall and 22. You maybe see, like, how does he do in, like, Advanced A and AA this year? And then maybe you just call him up straight from Winter League. So that he seems to be like the best bet for somebody who would get out early. And then
100 range, and in the infield, he's gonna be a good to great defender immediately.
And then the Ken Harper was the pick from. Okay, I'm pulling him up now. Classic Jeremy pick, a first baseman that you could find in free agency, in my opinion, because they're always there. You could pay whatever that guy Williams' name is now and get a left-handed bat who's better than this for just money. So again, I don't know. To me, sorry Jeremy if you're listening, but it seems like a wasted pick because spending a high draft capital on these kinds of guys when there's still position players available, it's like what are you doing there?
Show us a decision player.
Who have my
It's still
eye
available.
on? Would always go
That's better
for
than him.
center fielder.
Look at that. Look at those lows, dude.
Yeah,
Look at that range.
The low leader, the low loyalty.
Rusty Day, 5,000 times out of.
Oh,
And-
wow.
That's another-
Yeah, he's a righty though. Meh.
He's durable. I mean, he's a righty, sure, but he has elite
He's
range.
decent. He's a LB utility for sure.
Sure, I'm just saying, like, I would even 2 clicks in, like, I would much rather have that guy than Ken Harper because you can just buy a Ken
no,
Harper.
I disagree.
Just different philosophies. I mean, but
Dude,
yeah,
Ken Harper. You realize that Ken Harper. Wait, go back to Harper real quick.
I'm on Harper. Yeah,
Dude, he's honestly like, if
his
his defense isn't bad.
he's terrible versus righties. Just look at the splits right now; those are not going to get better. He's bad versus righties, so he's gonna not be able to play against half the league. I mean, that's just you can't
I mean,
can't
I
pay a
guess that is
premium
true,
for
he's
that.
right-handed.
It's just
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't know. I go out and because this was something that like Prather was talking about earlier. He was like, "Oh, go sign Robbie Matthews," and I looked. How is this guy still a free agent? Just look at these ratings. Like that's
Because he wants 20 million.
because he wants 20 mil a year. But my whole point is, if you pick somebody else that fills another need in a more valuable position, then you can go out and pay this man fuck you money to come and play for you
Who
for a
would you
year.
guys rather have? Who would you guys rather have, Joe Santos or Robbie Matthews?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna pull them up. We'll do a little side by side.
Salaries.
We'll say current salaries.
Yeah,
Current
and
salaries.
assume Robbie at 20 million a year. Okay, so 120 million over
Robbie
6.
Matt.
Or well, I guess maybe a 5-year deal because he's 31. But I don't know.
We have to look
What
at
do you
the.
think?
It has to be defensive. That's where the value has to be missing. Yeah.
I still take Santos.
I'm taking Robbie.
No, I'm taking.
Go sign him, Mike. Go sign him, Mike.
I can't. He can't play. Can he play first?
Yeah,
Honestly, if I had realized he was available,
he'd be your best first baseman.
No, he would. Oh my god,
Bet.
bro. No, he wouldn't.
Who would be better?
I have Mooney. Did you see what Gurley did last year? He
Dude,
hit 336.
Tynan Mooney's a platoon.
Exactly. He's gonna be a left-handed platoon. He's gonna be playing left-handed pitching, and then Gurley is gonna be playing right-handed pitching. It's already said, bro.
Dude,
oh wait, so how are you both feeling about the bet? How are you feeling about your chances of winning it specifically?
I'm feeling great.
a lot of players died on me today, so I kind of feel not that great anymore. But
Pour
But
one
my
out for Evans.
yeah, dude, pour one out for Evans. Dude lost two miles per hour over the offseason where he signed an extension with me. So you know how it is.
You hate to see it. Vaughn lost 2 today. He's gonna start the decline now. We're gonna see how long we can
Yeah,
ride him out.
Go to Jim Evans' scouting real quick.
Yeah, that's tough to look at.
Jim Evans. All right, let's pull him up.
You're not going to roll him at the closers, but you're going to roll Bell at the
No,
closers.
I'm going Bell now. Yeah.
Oh God! Wow, that's a fall from grace
He
if
didn't
I've
even
ever
get
seen
injured.
one.
He's not even
He's
injured.
old.
I don't get it. I just put him. He's now. He's 31. He's a reliever.
Yeah,
He's low stam. He has no innings on that arm.
man, he was so good last year.
When I got him from Will, he had 133 innings on his arm, and he only has 243 now. He only has 377 total. This shouldn't be happening.
That's kind of crazy. How much stamina do you think 14 stamina is? I feel like that's not that many pitches though. Like it can't be.
I mean, it's not. He can only go for. I mean, his maximum innings pitched is 74, and last year he went for 69 the past 2 years. Nice. So 3.8 WAR though last year. That shit's insane.
Okay, I'm a little
What are we
tired.
talking about next?
Oh, I'm a little tired, so I want to wrap it up a little soon. But I want to get your thoughts on spring training, early storylines. I thought many of the injuries were very funny.
Preseason prediction: Aguilar's supposed to be a top 10 pitcher. Allowed 3 home runs per 9 last year.
3 home runs for 9.
Dude, it's the ballpark. Oh, it's brutal. People are building ballparks to get out of this shit.
Hey man, you can do it too.
I'm not spending 120 million on that.
Well, I mean that's your choice, man.
You don't even have like enough for free agency next year. You have 17 mil available in extension.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I can cut people. I got team options. Lauren Corbin's about to get cut. Vargas about to get traded. I could do a lot of shit, Mike.
All right, then, buddy.
Oh man, I feel like I'm so excited to watch how the bet plays out because it's gonna be very intense. I feel like it's gonna make all the times you guys meet this season all extra. You know, those are gonna be big sim days.
We actually just met in spring training. If you wanted to bring that up, you can guess who won.
I didn't play any of my top pitchers.
Dude, that's cool. Me neither. Hey, my players were learning new positions.
Tim,
Same.
is there a reason we cannot have a sim tomorrow? I'm itching real bad. If you just
I haven't exported yet.
Our league schedule says Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sat.
Hey, can I ask Mike and Tim a question about the bet?
Sure.
Okay.
So, are you guys keeping any trade targets in mind for mid-season, or once you guys are done here at the start of the season, are you just rolling as is?
Oh, dude, I've already scouted out potential guys for the deadline. I already think I know who's gonna lose some, or who I already know who. Like some of the guaranteed losers are obviously. I've already basically put out lists on their players, and then I have a list of guys who I think are going to be in that 80 win range that I might be able to snag something from too. So
Yeah,
we'll
but
see.
I thought Chris was a playoff team, and I still went out and got Roviva. It's just a matter of like what you got.
You think Chris is a playoff team? You missed
He is a playoff team.
you missed the AL podcast. So
I listen. He is a playoff team.
Ryan, do you remember? Did I say if he was a playoff team or not? I can't remember.
I don't. We never pinned our 6 teams. We never got around to that, but
You guys waffled about it quite a bit and then moved on.
Gotcha.
sounds about right, Chris.
Yeah.
Havana got unlucky last year, but now that they got rid of one of their top players, I don't think they're making the playoffs now. That's
Dude, me
okay, 'cause
neither.
They got a lot of capital for them.
I
Got a
mean,
lot of capital, but nothing current. Nothing
who
right now.
who cares though? If
Really
it makes your team twice as good in 2 years, then sometimes it's the trade you got to make.
But wasn't
Right. He was about to come in with that 4 WAR, baby.
That big thing for me is I've got about 7 different starting pitchers. I'm just seeing who takes the next step, and if nobody does, yeah, I'm dead in the water.
dude? Oot Padel is Tony Ortiz 2.0 injury in the going to the hospital after every game for sure.
I don't know. His injury history is terrible.
Alvin Oot Patel.
It's terrible. It's terrible, really, if we're looking at it right now. But at the same time,
He's 24 years old.
but the injuries,
Think about that.
the injuries are
Ryan, how old are
moderate
you?
though. I'm 21.
Oh shit. Okay, I thought you were older. Yeah, that's a lot of injuries for a 24-year-old.
Oh, it's a ton of injuries.
I don't know about him.
I'm not saying it's.
I got McGowan, I got Ted Carson, I got a couple other guys too. We're just seeing
Ted Carson. Who's that?
We can all click along together. See, because I feel like if Chris was relying on one guy, I mean, then maybe you could say it. But if it's multiple guys,
He is a nice middle of the rotation.
Man,
Ted Carson is nice though. I don't like that curve though.
Okay, Chris, what I want to know is how do you always get people to trade you? How can you get people to trade you a guy like Mercado? I'm looking at Mercado right now. That somehow Philly, 1 year before deciding to tear down the entire thing, traded him to you. I don't even know who he traded him to you for Christian Garcia.
For a closer?
Yeah, I traded a closer prospect for 3 closers.
That's a rough dude.
Did he boost or something? He can't have been this good when Jamie traded him.
Mercado boosted big time.
That is rough. Oh, rip RJ.
That sucks. Well, because I was like, there's no way he would have just traded this man for nothing. Because, I mean, he's a captain, too. Like, he's a captain who's a 32 out of 80 with 4 pitches. Like, I was like, is there something wrong with him? Like, what am I not seeing right now?
Yeah, that was pure luck.
Okay. Wow.
So do you got Mercado coming up this year or next year?
I'm hoping he's able to take that step with his control this year, midway through the season maybe. But again, I got so many people to hopefully find spots for. Hopefully McGowan figures out his curveball. Billy White figures out whatever the hell he needs to figure out. I got Dave Williamson too. I mean, I got a bunch of guys.
Yeah, he's not going to be a top pitcher. Mercado's not going to be a top pitcher this year. You have so many people above him, like overall wise. There's no reason to rush him. Just let him sit in AAA for like a year.
So the real question is, Chris, why would you not spend some of the $48 million you have and get some upgrades instantly for the offense?
I really didn't know where to upgrade at this point.
You don't?
So I got a good shortstop, a good second baseman, a good third baseman. And I've got a billion outfield prospects that need something done with them.
I mean, like we had talked about earlier in the show, what about somebody like a Robbie Matthews you bring in, you see if you can get him on a 1 year kind of $40 million, it doesn't matter, it's just money. You can't take it when, it doesn't matter if you have $40 million left over or if you get a Robbie Matthews and you win the World Series,
That's true. I think I was more thinking of giving playing time to a guy named Jose Verde. I just thought I should give my prospects a chance here.
Oh.
I'm way overly loyal to my prospects, though. I'm way overly loyal.
Well, I feel like that's the style, though. I feel like you draft, you develop the players. We all have our different styles of how we want to get our talent. They're all very different. It's why the league is so fun. But yeah,
hold on. Do you think? Well, I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
Okay, Chris. Do you think Perkins is able to put up his 2055 and 2056 seasons? I mean, I saw that you just extended him this past offseason, and his previous season did not look tasteful.
No. Yeah, that was on pure emotion, and I regret it instantly. No, I'm hoping he can return to 2055, 2056, but I don't know that I expect it. I'm that guy. I'm that emotional guy that I think Jeremy and Josh were making fun of with getting attached to players, and he won me a World Series, and I just can't let him go.
I mean, but that's a fair reason to not want to let a player go if they're part of a team that, was a good team. I remember that. I mean, that team, you kicked my ass that season. Holy shit. Every time we played, you would just beat me down into the ground. But
it was a fun year.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we hop off the call?
Yeah, I'm done.
Cool. I'm excited to see how there's all. Tim, when is opening day set for? Or does anybody know when opening day is?
Saturday at some point in the morning.
Oh
time.
Shit, Saturday? It's this week. Damn. For some reason I thought it was longer than that, but
Monday.
man, okay, wow, that's kind of soon.
Today's only Wednesday, right? Or am
Oh,
I tripping?
Yeah, no, it is.
yeah,
I just
NL podcast. I didn't hear your predictions for who's gonna win the NL.
Who?
Oh yeah, we didn't do that. Let's just do that now. Let's just send it. Okay, let's each go around and we'll make a prediction for the NL. And Chris, you and I will just guess because we don't know any of the teams. So anybody can go for it and just start. Pick your team.
What are we doing?
Pick your NL winner, your NL World Series rep.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Milwaukee's
Milwaukee
going.
right now.
Doing it.
I don't think I have the offense to make it. I have the pitching to do it, but the offense gonna have to do something in the postseason.
I'm gonna probably go.
I never bet
Oh no.
Jacks.
Oh, the Blackjacks. Yes, I'm actually gonna go with Josh and the Mets. I really like the offseason moves, and I think he could put it together. I mean, he already has won a World Series, so you kind of got to give the man some respect.
That's a good pick.
But I really think the NL is. I mean, there's a ton of teams that could either be great or do nothing.
I think my pick is going to be for. This is tough because I feel like the NL is actually pretty well spread out right now.
You could pick Nolan. You could pick Nolan.
I see like 5 teams that could win it.
Nolan. I'm probably gonna have to say the Nationals.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really
Okay.
good. Kevin Davis
Dark
for
horse.
MVP.
Kevin Davis for 4.2 WAR.
Stop. We're not talking about Kevin Davis. It's not on our topic list. Okay.
Hey man,
I'm just saying,
you give me
the
airs.
Nationals. Okay. Yes, Zach is making moves, bro. Promise.
Juan
This team-
Mendez is so fucking nice.
I know. I
Jeez.
regret trading him. So much every day. Well, actually, not every day. I like Sergio more, but
Dan Rogers also just a crazy story. 24th round pick. Man's out here 72-80 with the knuckle
Dude.
curve. Ugh.
Juan Mendez really better put up like a 430 on base percentage though next year.
Oof. Yeah, he is good. But good news is I have it in sources are telling me Kevin Davis, he's going to be 4.2 WAR next season. And I'm going to be getting my $5 million.
What was the bet? What was the bet on that? I didn't read
Over
that.
under 4.2 WAR.
No, I think it's 4.3. I think I got him up to 4.3. So
Yeah, it's 4.2.
You said he's gonna go over.
no, I said he's going to go under. I said he's going to go under, and if he hits it, it's a push. It's close. It's going to be a close one. I believe he'll be right around there. He'll be right around there. So it's just will he or won't he?
Here's how I'm gonna put the Kevin Davis deal, and I haven't really spoken on it publicly yet.
Oh my God, he's breaking his silence.
No, it's not breaking the silence. I'm just putting my opinion out there. If he can't put weapons around Kevin, he's gonna struggle. It's gonna be the same situation that he was in San Diego. Now he's a lot closer, and he has a lot more weapons than Nolan already has, or had back in the day when Kevin was trying to lead the Padres to glory, and obviously he couldn't. So I'm just saying, give him a few more weapons, and he's gonna get there. He's gonna lead this team, but he needs
What more does he need? He has
he needs a
Park,
crew.
Mendez.
He actually has a decent team.
But I mean,
Not gonna lie.
He
He could use a better outfield though.
everybody could always use a better catcher. Like the shortstop is, I mean, for a team that wants to build itself around his pitching, you have to have an elite shortstop, at least defensively. And if it's not a good, yeah.
He needs a banger in there somewhere.
I mean,
other than Rhodes.
Zach needs.
Well, I guess he has Park.
Park is nice, man. I want him so
Park
bad.
is a banger. Yeah.
I mean, if he was listening, I would say go out and trade somebody like Mejia.
Yeah, dude, I'm taking that Natties, bro.
and get it.
They're acquiring more pitching. His prospects are coming up. Damn, dude. Okay.
So to review, it was a pick for the Natties. I think it was 2 for the Brewers, me on the Mets, and then I think there was Chris on the Blackjacks. And I feel like so people are staying away from teams on the bet. No one wants any part of that.
Nope.
It's gonna get dirty.
Both
Oh,
are
yeah, huh?
wild card team.
You want to put more money on that?
Nah, I'm straight. I sit back.
Okay.
25 picks isn't enough for you, Tim?
No, dude, if he wants to keep going, he'll just refuel in the rebuild.
Oh, well, we'll see. I don't know when the next podcast will be, but if you have an idea, just hit me up. We'll record them at random times whenever random people can do them. So hop on, and this was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you for all coming on today. I'll get this up soon.
Nice.